Hi, I'm Nami.
And I'm Michael, and welcome to Mike
And Nami Plus.
Today on the dinner table to chew up is the concept of love and respect. So we dated for about 3 years, is that right?
Yes.
Until we got married.
Yes.
So 3 years, I did the math. It's about 1,100 days.
You missed 3 months though. So it's 1,200 days. Because we had 3 extra months, yeah.
Of the 1,200 days we were together, we probably fought...
Every day 3 times?
No, not that much. We probably fought about 300-400 times. Of 3 to 400 days.
Arguments would be 3 times a day.
Arguments would be 3 times a day.
Big fights would be...
Big fights, maybe 300 times.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Characterizing our relationship, it was high conflict.
Yeah.
Kind of bipolar.
Yeah, like really good, and then really crazy, and then...
Okay, so I have a question for everyone. If you were to choose one of the following, which would you prefer to endure? To be left alone and unloved in the world, or 2, to feel inadequate and disrespected by everyone?
Neither.
You're forced to choose.
I'd rather not be alone though.
So you would rather endure to suffer, to feel inadequate and disrespected by everyone. That is the greater pain than being left alone and unloved.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. There was an experiment done, I think it was high school students or middle school students, and they were asked this very question. If you would rather be left alone and unloved for the rest of this world, go to this side of the room, or if you would rather feel inadequate and disrespected by everyone, go to the other side of the room. Most of the guys in the room would rather feel left alone and unloved in the world, and most of the girls would rather feel
And they're
inadequate.
so young.
I think this goes to show how our language is different in our relationship.
Every person's language will be different, right?
Yes. So for me, I grew up relatively...
Left alone.
Left alone.
Yeah, just cared for basic needs.
Cared for basic needs. I wasn't really shown physical affection from parents.
But your family stability was there and you were emotionally stable.
I was provided for. For you, you grew up totally different. You grew up...
I grew up the opposite. Like, basic needs wasn't really met. Basic family stability wasn't there. But then I had a lot of, like, physical affirmation.
Like hugs
words,
and kisses.
Yeah.
And...
우리 이쁘니, and like, 우리 사랑이, blah, 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 blah.
And I think that was one of the grounds of why we fought so much.
Right.
It's because I didn't really know the language of being loving, and you didn't really know the language of respect in the way that we would receive it for each other.
Right.
How would you feel if I were to say to you, I respect you, but I don't love you?
I would slap you in the face 3 times. Pa, pa, pa.
If you were to say to me, I love you, but I don't respect you.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be like...
I feel like we have already said that to each other so many times.
We have. Yeah.
Because that's how we actually feel. Because that's what we hold as important. But you have to realize that that's what you hold as important. So in another sense, that's what they hold as important.
So we have to think outside of our own box and see through different lenses for each other.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, people in the world, they say like, do what makes you happy. It makes me happy, but it makes you miserable. What makes you happy makes me miserable. So shouldn't we suffer a bit and work harder to provide for what makes the other happy so that they can provide for what makes us happy?
Yep. And that suffering a bit is the key antidote to solving a lot of the conflicts.
Right.
At least for us. There's a cycle of, if I did something that was insensitive or unloving, then you would feel
so angry, and then I would just like rattle off and totally, you would feel disrespected.
Because you would react in a disrespectful way.
Right.
And then I would receive that as, oh, you're disrespectful. You don't love me. And then I would act unlovingly to you in, let's say, totally stonewalling.
Yeah.
Or going into my man cave.
Yeah.
Or being insensitive even more in some way.
Yeah,
because that's my selfish reaction.
Like,
And then in my selfish reaction,
make it stop.
You would then react in like snappy or even more disrespectful or.
It's just a never-ending
in the
cycle, but we don't know. Like, people who are in this cycle, they don't really know what's going on. Once you talk it through, you realize, oh, that's why you did that. Is because you felt that way because I did that.
Yeah. A lot of the times, it's not because we actually don't like each other or
you want to hurt each other.
Or that we have contempt against each other. A lot of times from us, almost every single time we had big fights or arguments, it was based on a misunderstanding.
That's really unfortunate.
Yes. But we learn how to communicate. Conflict leads to resolution if you work on it. So conflict is good. Arguments are good.
As long as you resolve it.
Yes.
And it leads you closer to understanding each other more.
Yes.
If you don't resolve it, it's just going to be a boiling fester of mold.
And contempt.
And resentment.
Resentment is the poison in the well. The author actually says that is the most corrosive element in a marriage. But choosing for the husband to love or choosing for the wife to respect is the perfect and most effective antidote to it.
So that little bit of suffering of yourself so that you can fulfill.
Yeah. So a lot of the times we can't see it as, oh, you have to earn my love or I have to earn your respect. It's showing an unconditional love, showing an unconditional, undeserved respect.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of sacrifice that we have to put forth for each other and build each other up.
But I don't think it's just a sacrifice, because sacrifice, usually people think you just have to let that go, sacrifice, and it dissipates. Okay. But this is like investment. This is like you put something down so that it can grow, exponentially grow. Like, when you plant something, you see the little bits here and there, and then it suddenly shoots up.
Yes, and I think that exponential growth is exponential when you're married. You're one together in a marriage, and you're investing in yourself when you're actually choosing to love. One of the biggest things I learned, and it took me 3 years of fighting and resolving to learn this. I should not hear your hostility as contempt. And at the same time, on your end, my silence should not be perceived as hostility.
Right.
And those two are really difficult. Men tend to stonewall and run away or turn around.
And women tend to rattle.
So I cannot view that as
something contemptuous towards you.
Yes. For in a heterosexual relationship, marriage, men should not look at their spouse's contempt as an attack. And so we should not fear that. And for men, we have to figure out and work at how to be more loving. So one of the biggest things I learned from you throughout a relationship, it took 3 years for me to learn this, is that it's rational. It's logical. It's right.
What?
Yes. It is something that is considered validating. It's significant evidence. It's your emotions and your expression of it, whether it be physical or verbal or whatever other way, that is important to consider. You should not dismiss it. In fact, I wrote, what I share with my buddies is that feelings are rational. Don't dismiss a feeling as something that is passing away or irrational or in the moment or unsubstantive or illogical or easily manipulative. You can change it, or of lesser importance. You don't win an argument by dismissing the expression of your partner's feelings, because oftentimes it isn't a hateful, contemptful, wrath and final judgment of how terrible you are, but rather it is simply an expression of her need.
Right.
All she's saying, or all you're saying, is, this is what I need from you. Love me. It was interesting. After once we got married, our crazy high conflict.
Yeah.
Calm storm.
What happened?
Calm the storm. That's another video.
Stay tuned.
It reminds me of a movie that I think we watched together, Courageous. The journey of knowing your spouse. It's lifelong.
Yes.
It takes 4 years to get a BA in Nami. Another 2 years of a master's in Nami, another 4 to 5 years for a PhD. And after that, it's not the end. You got to keep going, you know, forever and ever and ever.
Because you keep changing too.
Yeah, that's the beauty of marriage in a sense. Is you're changing together. You're not married to the one static same person.
Yeah.
But you're married to a chameleon. You never know what to expect. It's always something new.
Right.
Getting married isn't something like such a binding, so boring after a year, you'll get bored. What are you going to do?
It's
Look
the same
out for
person,
other options.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
No, it's not that.
You have all the options here. You just have to invest in it.
It's something as deep as the ocean. So basically, to sum it up, Dr. Emerson Eggerichs says that when a husband feels disrespected, he has a natural tendency to react in ways that feel unloving to his wife. When a wife feels unloved, she has a natural tendency to react in ways that feel disrespectful to her husband. So the major part in which what reading this book kind of stimulated and ushered us to consider was learning how to decode each other's languages. The language of respect and the language of love.
It's really simple though. But what makes it hard is because our brains don't work that way, that the others does.
Exactly.
But it's so simple because that's it.
Yeah.
There is, I remember when we were reading this, there's a female portion for the wives, and then there's a male portion for the men. I don't think this was specifically written, it was specifically written for married couples, but I think it applies to everyone.
Yes.
Because it's about the way you communicate. Everyone communicates. We're all people.
Right.
So I remember just reading the portion for the woman.
Yeah.
But did you read all of it?
I read all of it.
Wow, you're amazing.
Oh, it lost its good smell.
Oh.
What do you think about this statement? When a wife does stonewall, she does so because she has lost confidence that her husband will hear her heart.
Yeah, because she's tried so much.
That's so scary.
Have I done that before?
Yes. When we do get into like a scuffle or argument and I act unloving and you act disrespectful and it just takes a long time and then you just silence.
Yeah.
Those are tough times. That's hard. It's an unending poisonous sting on my side. I'm like, what do I say? How do I solve this? What do I do? This is on page 65. A wife's softened tone and facial expressions can do more for her marriage than she can imagine.
That's true. Did you like my exclamation and my heart that I sent you last night?
Exactly. Oh, wait.
I was meeting my friend.
Was I sleeping? Wait.
No, you said okay.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. I said, okay, I just trust you.
Yeah. Because if I was like, just wait. Like, I'm not done yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's very different than when I say, okay, we're wrapping up now. See you soon. Exclamation. Heart.
Okay, take your time.
Yeah, right?
Are you manipulating me? No. So wives want connectivity. Women confront to connect. All right?
Yes.
Women confront to connect.
Why do men disengage then?
They lack faith. So men, take it by faith. What she really wants is to connect when she criticizes you. All right? Another interesting quote I'm taking from this author is, unsuccessful couples want it easy. They want it now. They want their needs to be met. They don't want conflict. They just want everything to be happy. This approach is the epitome of immaturity. You know, I hear it a lot in...
That's a strong statement.
Relationships. Many young relationships. Individuals in their 20s.
Okay, yeah.
Especially high schoolers. I would hear the guy saying, I just want her to be happy. I just want her to be happy. I love her. I just want her to be happy. Based on what the author said is, if your goal is just to want to make her happy and that's really all you're doing, that's the epitome of immaturity. I actually question. They're saying, I just want her to be happy. It's actually about you. It's what you want. I want. What precedes her happiness is what I want. The lens of everything is through I want.
Right.
I want her to be like this. I want her to be like that. I want me to be like this. Maybe it's not the fact that I want her to be happy, but I want myself to be happy. And I'll be happy if she's happy. If she's not happy, I will not be happy. It's about me more than it's actually about her. So if you're interested in reading this book, we'll have a link below
It's a really good book. It was like one of our staple foundations to the survival of our relationship.
Yes. And if you do decide to purchase it through our link, no extra cost to you. It will help support our channel. So we thank you.
Did you experience any sort of these kind of conflicts at all in your relationships? If you haven't been in any relationships, these kind of conflicts exist in parent-child relationships, in friendships, in teacher-student relationships. I think any kind of relationship where conflict is possible, which is every single one, like there is going to be conflict and misunderstanding, or like the way someone's making you feel kind of thing, right? Let us know. We always like to hear different life experiences or thoughts. And if you have any topic suggestions or requests for video topics, we are always welcome to new ideas. So we'll see you next time. Bye.